Hi, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Jake Corson, and welcome back to Dirt Road Barbecue, your favorite YouTube channel to watch while you wait for your drug dealer to text you back. This week, we were thinking about what to do, and I've had this on the chopping block to do a dip. Now, we've never done a dip on Dirt Road Barbecue, but after this weekend, we will say that no longer. But I was thinking of what dip to do. And what we're about to do, is my favorite dip. I've got a shout out here to one of my buddies, Dylan Nick. Dylan used to bring my favorite dip of all time every New Year's Eve when we would binge drink in some person's garage. He would bring his famous Reuben Dip. And I thought, why not smoke a Reuben Dip? Now, you're going to be able to do this in a crock pot or whatever, but we're going to smoke it today. Now, I don't know how Dylan does his Reuben Dip. I don't know how many different ways you can do Reuben Dip. But this is how I'm going to do mine today. So, Dylan, don't come at me in the comments telling me I fucked this whole thing up. This is how I'm doing mine. Do not attack Dylan Nick in the streets, criticizing him for how I did my Reuben Dip. This isn't Dylan Nick's Reuben Dip. This is Jake Corson from Dirt Road Barbecue's Reuben Dip. So come along this week. Let's get a good dip going. Alrighty, so what are we going to get into here? What do we need? We've got it all out here already. So, we're going to start by laying down a block of Philadelphia cream cheese or Dollar General cream cheese, best value, whatever. I don't care. I went with Philadelphia. I'm all for generic brands, but when it comes to cream cheese, I do the Philadelphia. I do think it's better. Has better flavor. So we're going to go in with a block of cream cheese, and this, I believe, is 3/4 of a pound of Swiss cheese, just cubed up. It's going to melt in there. I thought about shredding it. You can shred it, but it's going to melt, so it's just faster to cube it. So about 3/4 of a pound of Swiss cheese. We have 2 pounds of sauerkraut. I always think whenever my mom is big on pork and sauerkraut and mashed, biscuits or mashed potatoes or whatever on New Year's Eve, and the kitchen always ends up smelling like what I imagine the dad from Holes kitchen smelled like. The guy that was always trying to make stinky sneakers. Make a thing to take the stink out of sneakers, and he was always boiling shit in his kitchen. That's what I imagine. Sauerkraut smells like. So I'm not a big smell of sauerkraut. Now, if you want to cook your own, fine, go for it. I just bought a bag of regular sauerkraut. So dump a bag. I got 2 pounds of sauerkraut here. Go in with that. And oh my god, it amazes me that people smell sauerkraut and are like, oh, delicious. I'm like, ugh. It was like a freaking locker room full of crusty gym socks. And now we're just gonna go in. We got a thing of sour cream. I'll probably put half of it in here. That'll be plenty. Going with that. Now, for your meat, corned beef. You could do this numerous different ways. If you so please. You can do just deli meat corned beef, like sliced corned beef. You could cure your own brisket, cure your own whatever, and do it. My local grocery store sells pre-packaged either points or flats of brisket, corn brisket. So what I ended up doing was I just sliced that brisket nice and thin, and I just slow smoked it for a little while. And then after it cooled off, I just made sure to get it sliced up and cubed up nice and thin. So that's what I did. But like I said, if you want to do deli meat, it's so much easier that way. just do it that way if you want to. It's not going to hurt anything. And you know, however much meat you want. I don't even know what that brisket flat that I got weighed, to be completely honest with you. But just, you know, if you want more meat, go more meat. If you want less meat, go less meat. We got that in there. Now I'm just going to toss in a little bit of Killer Hogs AP, get a nice salt, pepper, garlic flavor, nice little savory seasoning in there. Not a ton, just a nice little dusting in there. And then I'm not going to mix anything up. I might shake it up a little bit just so, for no reason at all, I guess. But so we got that all in there. That's really all that we need to do. So come on over here. And we are over here at the smoker. 250 degrees. We're just gonna set this puppy right on here. Close her up. And probably in about 45 minutes, we'll come back after all that stuff starts to melt in there. Give her a nice little stir around. All right, guys, we're ready to give this a stir here. Mix everything together in here. Starting to melt that cheese. Everything's starting to soften up in here. Cubes of cheese still have a while to go. They're just starting to come apart. You can start seeing them getting stringy here. So we're just gonna mix all this in. Back in she goes. All right, guys, so we're at about our halfway point here. So I'm gonna give this another stir here. Cheese is starting to break down real nice. And one of the reasons that we're back here just doing a stir is came out here and looked at this. And I'm like, well, I'm missing something. Then I thought, oh yeah, what's every Reuben needs? I forgot Thousand Island dressing. So we're putting it in halfway through. You can put it in at the beginning. I just got myself in a hurry. I'm doing tile in our bathroom upstairs that I'm remodeling, so I'm doing a couple of things at once. About a half a bottle of Thousand Island in here. Mix this in nice. That color looks a little bit better. All right, so right towards the end here, when we come back, we're gonna come back and get some French bread that I cut up and toast it up for a dipping utensil. So, see you in a minute. All right, guys, so this dip has been on for a little over 2 hours. So we're getting really close to being done here. So I'm just gonna throw on, what I have here is just, I cut up some cheap French bread for dipping. And I'm just gonna set it in there. I did turn it up a few minutes ago, so we're at 275. It won't take long. We're just gonna lightly toast that French bread. Next time you see us, we'll be digging in. All right, guys, here we are at the end of another cook here. So our dip is all done. Everything's incorporated. Our French bread is toasted up, lightly toasted up nice. So I'll bring this over. Don't know if the light's good enough. We're getting to dusk here, but see if we can show you just what this Reuben dip looks like. A nice spoonful of it there. We're cooling off. Look at that smoke. It's gonna burn the shit out of my mouth when I eat it, but we go in here, get a nice little chunk of this toasted bread here, drop it, and let's just see what we come up with here. Can't be bad. Oh man, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. You know, I think the difference between getting a corned beef brisket and just using deli meat, like sliced corned beef, is I think I would go with the corned beef brisket if you have time to piss around with it, because you get a good nice chunk of a good nice bite of corned brisket, and it's a nice, meaty bite, as to where the sliced deli meat corned beef is kind of, thin, stringy, almost like not something you're gonna bite into and know you're biting into a nice chunk of meat. So I don't know, either one will work, but I think the quality is worth going with the corned beef brisket. So that's my opinion, but this is super good. Try it at home. It's a great football, whatever. It's Supercross Saturday, so we just got this done. Heats are just starting inside, so I'm not going to waste any more time. Yeah, that's great. That'll do.